We are live.
Oh, here we are.
Halftime. Bulls 47, Raptors? I always say it wrong.
Raptors, yeah.
58. Fred VanVleet going off. I think he has to have over 20 points. Big 3-pointer right at the end from half court. That was not good. The Bulls defense is just bad. And then
I mean, if they're going to give up 116, they're not going to win this game.
And then the worst stat I heard for the first half was the Bulls are 30th in made 3-pointers.
Yeah, and it shows tonight. They're 18% from three right now. I've got some stats.
They don't care. They keep shooting.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they got to fall, right? I mean, you can't. I don't think
that's true for this team.
In an NBA game, you're going to shoot 18% for the whole night, but I mean,
I know this sounds bad, but you got to have a superstar out there to win games like this.
Yeah, and they don't.
That right now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. Siakam's got 20. Fred's got 14. And then the Bulls are looking at DeRozan with 12 and Levine with 9. Pat Beverly still hasn't scored. I mean, Caruso's got 2. I mean, it's bad. They're in trouble.
Not good at all. The problem is you can't go, what is this? So they're 2 for 11 from 3-point. That's awful.
Yeah.
But go to the basket. Go to the basket. They just love to shoot up those threes. Patrick Williams out there shooting threes, Vooch out there shooting threes, but we can't get to the basket.
Yeah, and they've been out rebounded 25-18.
Well, Siakam is just taking this team. Him and Fred VanVleet are just going to beat this team single-handedly.
Yeah, there was like that stretch in the second quarter where Siakam just did not miss. I mean, and that's what superstars do. I mean, he's on pace for 40. You give up 40 in a playing game, and Fred's probably going to be somewhere between 25 and 30. So if you're going to give that up, you're not going to win playoff basketball games, especially when your quote unquote stars are playing the way they are. It's not going to happen. They've got to figure something out.
You look at this. I'd love to see them win this game, but what are they going to do?
Yeah,
what are they really going to do with this team?
Yeah. Yep, that's kind of where I was at.
If somehow you get to the play-in tournament, you play the Bucks, what are you going to do? You're going to lose every game.
Yeah, but I think we talked about this last time. I mean, best case scenario, they beat the Bucks 1 game, maybe 2.
I really don't see them even winning 1 game with a team like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe a game where DeRozan goes off or Levine goes off, but biggest game of the year we're playing right now, and Levine has 9 points.
Yep, and
do we have any double digits?
Yeah, DeRozan's got 12, but there's just been like Zach LaVine just has felt super inconsistent here tonight, and I mean I know he's got 9, but
I think you should just say this season.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean, though? He's been so inconsistent all year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and he's got 9 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. If he's not scoring, he's not doing a whole hell of a lot else. We've talked about his inability to play defense a million times over. I mean, if you're not going to...
This team cannot play defense.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I don't know. I'm kind of over the Vucevic experiment. I was kind of advocating for him to be traded at the deadline, and that didn't happen. And I mean, he's got 8 points, but, we just don't have a guy. We don't even have a guy like Pascal Siakam right now. And he's just taking things over here.
Yeah, it's tough to watch, but we're going to watch the second half.
Yeah.
Hopefully the NBA is a game of runs. So maybe the Bulls can come back here. Not super super
optimistic.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't want this to seem like I'm just like, oh, this game's over. Like they clearly have guys that can do it. They just have not done it this year consistently at all. But like they do have the power to do it. They do have talent. They haven't shown anything in the first 2 quarters that they're going to do it. That's why I'm a little bit skeptical on how this second half is going to go. You gotta figure out a way, because if the threes aren't falling, like you said earlier, you have to develop something going from the inside out, and you have to get the paint touches. You got to get those guys going, to the basket, whether that's through screening stuff off the outside or just feeding the bigs to the inside. That's for Billy Donovan to decide, but you've got to get something going, and eventually those 3 shots are going to come. But if you just keep shooting and shooting and shooting and don't allow yourself to go to the hoop, and you've also got to figure something out defensively. I'm telling you right now, you give up 116, the Bulls are not going to win this game. I don't think the Bulls have it in them to score 117 tonight.
Yeah, I don't see it. But maybe they can get hot in the second half. Not really excited about the second half. The way Fred's playing, the way Siakam's playing, and the way the Bulls play defense, it doesn't look very promising.
So even if they win this game, they got to beat the Heat Friday night, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like a tall task. I mean, I think obviously Miami's a better team than Toronto.
You know what you get as a reward for that? You get to play the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. Good luck. You get to go against arguably the best player in the NBA in the last 10 years. So
maybe the Mavericks were right in losing that game.
I'm starting to think they were. We talked about. I mean, the Bulls should have lost that game regardless, but this is kind of brutal. I mean, if your team's going to win the play, and I think they said it on Pardon My Take today, none of these 8 teams in the play-in tournament are going to win an NBA Finals. There's just, I don't think there's any of these 8 teams that I would even put, a $5 bet on to win the NBA championship, because I just don't think it's going to happen.
Speaking of that, put a little wager on the Bulls here just to make this interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I can throw away money one more time on them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Best case scenario, this is the last time, or worst case scenario, I guess this is the last time you got to lose money on them. But best case scenario, they come back and they get it done and move on to Friday against Miami. But I don't know. I like the play-in tournament. Everybody has their kind of complaints about it. I'm starting to realize I like the play-in tournament.
It's just more basketball. It's fun.
Yeah. And there's something about a one and done game in the NBA. We don't see that very often, especially in the playoffs. So I don't know, man. I was not a huge fan of it at first, but I am slowly becoming a pretty big fan of it.
Yeah, like you said, it's just like the wild card game or whatever. That tournament is just more fun, competitive basketball.
Yeah, and I mean, even looking at it, after this, we get New Orleans and Oklahoma City. So, and last night's games were pretty solid. I mean, you had one go to overtime, and obviously the Heat sucked. But if you can get these 8 teams playing, I don't hate it. It doesn't feel. It feels like a diet playoff game, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah, I guess
you know what I mean there.
I know we're talking Bulls, but happy news. Ian Happ signed to a 3-year extension. Just awesome. Him, Nico, Dansby Swanson, locked up for the next few years. That will be fun to watch. And he just seems like he loves Chicago.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, you can say we cheer for, everybody on the Cubs, whether they're good guys, bad guys. He is a legit good guy. And, we've, he's come up through the Cubs system and had his ups and downs, but just a genuinely good dude who had a phenomenal year last year. I mean, you don't win a Gold Glove, by accident. So I was glad to see they wrapped him up for the next couple of seasons. 3 years, it doesn't really hurt either side. It's $20 million a year on average for him, and the Cubs aren't strapped down for a decade with a guy. And if he performs like he can perform, then keep him around after that.
He'll be 32 at the end of the contract, which is, if he keeps playing like he is, hopefully extend him even longer. I just feel like he wants to be in Chicago forever.
Yeah, and I think he's got a really good thing going, right? Obviously, playing outfield for the Cubs, but then also has his podcast, which is huge, and
Connect Roasters.
Yeah, Connect Roasters, his different, endeavors, and all of the things he does. He's hard. It's hard to find anything negative about the guy, and I don't think you'd find a ton of Cubs fans to be like, "Oh, I hate Ian Happ." I've never heard anybody make that statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's loved by the fans, and he loves loves just being in Chicago, loves the fans, loves Wrigley Field. So that's always a nice thing to see. A guy who's not up and coming, he is a star, and he wants to stay in Chicago.
Definitely. And, and it helps that the Cubbies are playing pretty well right now. Lost today, but I mean, what a game that was last night.
Won the series. They won the series. So
yep.
That's all that not all that matters, but
it's and then nice who do they got coming in this, or where do they go this weekend? I just saw it. I just looked at Baltimore. Is that right?
See. It is cool they get to play like every team once.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like the way the NBA or
tomorrow off.
Yeah, tomorrow's off, and then
Friday they play a 3-game series against the Dodgers.
Yep, that's right. They're in LA. Yep. Who the Dodgers not playing great lately, so there's
Friday, at least 9:10 start for the Cubs.
I love that. You know me, I've talked about it a million times. I love those late ones, keeping the TV on.
Be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it won't be a weekday.
Yeah,
Sunday will be, but
it's a perfect one, especially if we hang out, we catch some games, go golf. You still got a Cubs game late at night, so and hopefully, knock on wood, if the Bulls can turn this around, we'll get Bulls playoff game into a Cubs game.
They play Friday. I don't know when that would be.
I would assume it would be the earlier one.
Yeah, because it'll be in
like Miami. 7 maybe. Because the West Coast one is tomorrow night, I believe. The West Coast second round of the play-in game. But I could be wrong.
That the Lakers. That was a crazy game.
Yeah, that was wild. Who do the Lakers get now in the first round?
I don't know. That would be the 7th seed.
So the two, my computer just decided to restart and is running an update that's at 1%. I was going to pull everything up, but yeah, I mean, Lakers in the playoffs, and then get to see what else. The Hawks are already in, so it'll be fun, man. This is the like we always talk about. This is one of the best times of the year. So
yeah. So the third quarter is about to start here. We will come back at the end of the game, hopefully with some happy news, not so sad like we were last time. But we will be back at the end of the fourth quarter we'll either be sending the Bulls home or be getting ready for a Friday night game.
Friday night showdown with the Heat. Let's get some buckets in. Let's make some 3-pointers this half, all right? No more 2 for 11.
Let's do that, Boomy. That's going to be nice if they could do that. But we will see you at the end of the game. Boomy, how are we feeling?
Good job, dude. Much better. Much better. That second half was great.
That was insane. I did not think it was going to go that way. I can't believe it.
Even so, we're sitting there watching, and my very pregnant wife is intently watching the game, and it got to I think it was the 110 mark. And the Bulls were up 3, and she's like, I don't know. I got a bad feeling about this. And I was like, I know. I got them kind of feeling the same way. Sure enough, we were wrong. Pulled it out. What an awful, awful call there in the last 15 seconds. How do you change that? How in the world? Someone explain to me how that is a shooting foul. I will not understand. I don't care. That's ridiculous. That was horrible.
I don't understand it. I don't know how you can change it, but luckily he missed 2 free throws, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, Toronto missed 18 free throws, so that was nice to see. We needed that.
Yeah, we very much needed that. Now the Bulls go to Miami on Friday night to play the Heat.
Miami Friday night.
There's only been 3 other games, but they're the only 10th seed to win.
Yeah.
So that's something.
That is true. And listen, let's not beat around the bush. Miami's they played awful last night. But the Bulls are going to have to play better than one half of basketball to beat Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the statistical anomalies that happen tonight, if you just say for the most part, Miami's probably not going to miss 18 free throws. So don't get me wrong. I'm glad it all worked out, but you've got some stuff to fix in the first or by Friday night.
Because Miami, they didn't play very well their last game either.
Right, exactly. So you come out, and I mean, Zach finishes with 39. He had 9 at half.
Mm-hmm.
DeRozan with 23, Vooch with 14, and then Patrick Williams gives you 10. I mean, there's still a lot of improvement. Io still hasn't, really lived up to what we thought. He didn't score at all tonight. I mean, granted, he only played 6 minutes, but man, that was intense.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
You can't really script a game like that because you never know when a team will, what were they down 15, 16, not looking
18,
really good,
I think, at one point.
shooting bad, not playing great defense, and then it kind of seemed like for a little bit there, the Raptors just gave it up.
Yeah, the late third quarter and fourth quarter was pretty awful out of Toronto. At the end, I mean, Toronto only ended up shooting 43%, and I believe they were over 50% in the first half. Bulls still win the game and only go 7 for 26 from three. A lot of ground to be made up there, but like I said, when you look at free throws, Bulls were 18 of 22, and Toronto was 18 of 36. And the Bulls still got out rebounded by 13.
It was a 9-10 game. That's what you would say.
Yeah, that's a good description of what happened there, because man, and it did kind of turn around. The Bulls finished with 54 points in the paint, and Toronto turned the ball over a little bit more. And everybody knows you can't turn the ball over. And I think the biggest thing here in the second half is Zach LaVine. Really, I mean, we said it in the halftime show, like, we don't have that guy, and Zach LaVine in the second half at least played like that guy. And you had 30 points in the second half. So something to be said there, man. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Hopefully they can keep it going. Like I said, the prize of winning the next game is a 7-game series with the Bucks, which is always fun. But at least you said you won something, and I don't know. I don't really think you get much if you lose this game. I don't know if you get back in the lottery.
No.
I just might as well win the game you can.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well go out and do the same thing Friday.
Yeah. To Miami they go. A team that has been struggling a little bit. But they do have Jimmy Butler. They got Bam. I just don't really see the Bulls being able to match up with that. But I didn't think they'd come back from 18 down in Toronto when, I mean, if you looked outside that stadium, you would have thought that was like game 7 of like Eastern Conference Final or Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. Because, I mean, that place was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
But it was cool being able to go into Toronto and win. Like I said, you didn't think they were going to, but what's the point of wanting to lose?
Yeah, once you're there, you're there,
But it was a pretty crazy atmosphere.
Yeah, it definitely, kind of like we said earlier, like, I think that the more I think about that term, like diet playoffs, like, they definitely had that atmosphere. It wasn't full-blown playoffs because of the implications, but like it was still, like you said, just a really, really fun game.
It was exciting. I don't really know what to think of the game because it wasn't like they played amazing. Zach LaVine had a really good second half. I just don't know. I just don't know what they're going to be able to do with this.
Yeah, and obviously I think we're just overlooking Miami, but like, we keep talking about it because it's obviously what the end goal is. But like, I truly cannot think of a scenario where the Bulls win more than one game against Milwaukee, unless
if they even get lucky enough to win one game.
I don't think they'll get swept, but like, I just don't know if they've got it in them to win more than one. I just don't think it's there, man. I'll be honest.
No, but I guess you just got to go into Friday saying, hey, if we win, we're the 8th seed. We can say we won the play-in tournament. I don't know. That's about all you can take from it.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the season, maybe you can get one game from them. But I mean, they don't have enough talent, I don't think, to win against the Bucks.
Yeah, it's just not there. It doesn't matter who are you going to put on Giannis on this team. I mean, it's not there. And only a foot and a half shorter. Dude, I I just can't come up with a scenario. But I also think that about a lot of teams in the East. Like I think Milwaukee's going to the NBA Finals pretty handily. Like people can say what they want. Boston's okay, Philly's okay. Like Milwaukee's just
The
a
Celtics.
different. They're just a different breed, man. They're so good. And also, you can clip this, and it'll probably make me look stupid here in a couple weeks. But
Once the
I
Bulls
don't know.
go out and upset the Bucks.
Yeah, hey, try. I'd be all in. I think the realistic side of me just knows, or just thinks that like it's not.
That would be
Not
insane.
feasible. Yep. I mean, take it. I wouldn't complain, but it also like feels weird. Like I'm watching the Thunder Pelicans game on my computer here, and it feels like we're in very different landscapes of basketball compared to those two franchises.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
The Pelicans are. I don't know about that. It's just tough though because they got a superstar player, but he's just always hurt.
Right, and I think they're more like the Bulls are more related to the Pelicans, but like still at the same time, I still think the Pelicans are a hell of a lot younger and have a as of sitting right now, I would feel pretty confident if I was a Pelicans fan going forward. Obviously, not speaking about Zion being hurt, but I mean Oklahoma City has like what 24 draft picks in the next 10 years or something. It feels like so. Just if things go the way that we anticipate them and them not being able to get past the Bucks, like what do you do in the offseason? But we'll worry about that come, May and June or July or whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't really have too much faith in anything the Bulls have going as of right now.
Yeah. But all we can worry about is Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch, but other than that, not much to it.
Yeah.
But same as tonight. You go into with no expectations. You have some fun. You win the game. It's exciting.
It's playoff basketball, man. It's playoff basketball. Did you live bet the Bulls?
Yes, I did.
Oh, nice. That paid off then.
They did win.
Would you take just live money line?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder what they were when they were down like 18.
18, yeah. That would have been, even though they were down, what, 12 at halftime?
Yeah.
So, must have looked good at least.
Yeah, it was all right. I did not think it was going to happen, though.
Yeah, that was one of those just kind of a wing and a prayer bets there.
Yeah, there's those are ones you just kind of like throw in there and say, hey, it's a high enough number that if it wins, it's cool. If it's not, it's just like, you had no chance.
Yeah. Not much you can do. That's also one you just throw in and like, you're like, I'm going to put this on just for the sake of like me, having something to watch or, a little bit more of a reason to watch.
Yeah.
So,
me and Maddie may go live here in a little bit longer, about 20, 30 minutes if he is available. Either that or we're just going to shut it down. But Boom, you got anything else?
Man, I don't think I got anything. I'm going to get a couple more things going here on Twitter. Things are going to be home a little bit more here coming up soon. So
maybe we'll start doing the what was the TCF? Oh, what was that, Madness or whatever that was? Where we had a big tournament of, it was like a March Madness style.
Yeah, we might need to do one of those here soon. Maybe I'll get one of those going.
You'll have some time.
Yeah, definitely. And it does help the weather's getting real nice, man. I'm a big fan of that.
Absolutely beautiful.
I'm very happy my wife didn't have to be pregnant in the summertime. So
yeah, that'd be miserable.
Yeah.
But Bulls win 109-105 against the Toronto Raptors. They play the Miami Heat Friday. I think it's like 6:30, I'm guessing 6. Probably again.
Yeah, 6:30 or 7 because it's a standalone game.
So we'll have to see with that. But the Bulls win, down 18, keep it moving. They have a chance to actually make the real playoffs if they somehow win the next game. But expectations are low, so that's what's kind of exciting about it, honestly.
Yeah, you're going to be the underdog. Might as well go in and play some spoiler there. Have some fun.
So we're going to keep this live for a little bit. Me and Boomy's beautiful faces will not be on here, but I will let everyone know if we are going to go back live with Maddie or not. If not, we're just going to shut it down. But we'll have to see here in a little bit. But Boomy, thanks for joining the Bulls playoff post game show and halftime show. We brought them good luck at halftime.
Yeah, we did. They must have been listening at half because we made some valid criticisms and they cleaned a lot of them up. So I think someone in the locker room's been queuing up the halftime show.
I would have to think so. But like I said, we'll see you guys in a little bit. If not, we're going to shut it down. But Bulls win 109, 105. They keep it moving.
Let's go.
See ya, Boomy.
See ya.
Maddie, how we doing?
Good. What's going on, man?
Not much. What do you think about the Bulls?
It's a good win. I didn't see it coming the way I was looking for the first three quarters. It's a little rough go there for a while, but DeRozan, that big dunk, kind of seemed to be the play that flipped the tide. It seemed like the momentum swung right then, that big dunk coming down the middle of the lane. Missed free throws for Toronto was a brutal.
I think Boomy said 15 or 16.
Yeah, and the fact that what was it? That fucking the 3-point play where they called the foul in the act. What a gift that they gave Siakam! Yeah. Unbelievable.
He had he pump faked and then went back up after he got fouled. They changed it, and I still thought the Bulls should have challenged that.
Yeah, it was a weird play call. Shocked they called that, but I don't know. Good win. It's gonna be a tough one though. What is it? Not tomorrow, but it's a Friday night when they play Miami.
Friday night in Miami. Miami's not been playing the best, but they've still been playing better than the Bulls.
You got to worry about Jimmy Butler kind of sticking it to the Bulls a little bit too.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, Bam. Who's gonna guard those guys? But
fortunately, Miami defensively down low doesn't have much to play with Vucevic either, though. So I think they might have a little bit of a advantage there.
Yeah, big Bulls win, but
big time.
Who would have thought it? I did not think that they were gonna, especially when they were down 18. I didn't think they'd make a comeback. That's not been their big thing this year.
They look dead for a while. So
yeah,
I mean the fact that
But like I said, 16 missed free throws also does help the Bulls.
Yeah. I mean the Bulls, they couldn't hit a shot. It would have felt like for about a 7 or 8 minute stretch there in the second quarter too. So it was like
they're just not good at shooting 3-pointers.
They in a league that is built around the 3 game. It's wild.
Yeah, not very good. But before we let you go, what do you think about the Ian Happ extension?
Awesome. Our best friend Ian, former guest of the show, former best friend, current best friend.
The Cubs are making moves.
Happy to see him get paid.
We got him for 3 years, Nico for about 3 years, Dansby Swanson for I think 7. That's just stuff you can build around.
I really, really like the makeup of that middle infield with Swanson and Horner in the middle. It's they're outstanding defensively together, and they're going to win games just on the back of their defense alone. So it's a little bit different way than the Cubs have won traditionally. Seems like they've always been the team to slug it out, but I like the roster. I like the way they're playing, and hey, a little bit better than things are going on the South Side. That's all.
Yeah, unfortunately for the South Side too, it's just like injury after injury. Tim Anderson, Yohan Moncada, Eloy Jimenez. Mm-hmm. It's just like, when are they going to catch a break? It seems like the last 2 years it's just been injury after injury.
Injuries have been tough, but part of the game too. And I think if certain roster decisions that they could have made or should have made in the past would probably help the situation that they're in right now. But hey,
speaking of injuries too, Seiya hopefully going to be back soon with the Cubs. He looks like he's been raking with the Iowa Cubs. That'll be huge to fill that right spot up, that right field spot. Even though who hit the grand slam?
Kelenic?
No.
Wait, Velasquez? Are you talking about for the Cubs?
Yeah.
Velasquez, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to hope maybe be a DH. I don't know what's going to happen when Seiya comes back, but he can
find a spot for him.
Yeah. I'd have to feel bad, but I think Mastrobuoni will be going down to the minors once Seiya is back.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the type of guy that you'll probably see on the roster at some point later in the season too. So.
Yeah, the Cubs have a nice little spot where if they have unfortunately some injuries to the outfield, there could be some moves there. The infield, there's some players down in AAA that can come up. You see Owen Casey with 3 home runs tonight.
Yeah, kick and mash. It sounds like, and the reports with PCA are good.
You think about it too. I think
it's
PCA
exciting. We're in a good spot with the Cubs right now.
PCA is the craziest of it because it's just like you give up 6 months or 3 months of Javi Baez.
Not even really. I mean, when it comes down to it, it was.
I love Javi Baez. I love Javi Baez. He won a World Series, but
it's been a rough go for our boy.
Goodness.
It's been a rough go for him.
He's lucky he plays for the Detroit Tigers.
He's always good in my book.
No, he's always good in my book too. But if he would have stayed in New York, that media would not be happy with how he's doing.
Oh God, no. Yeah, Detroit's a safer place to be.
I mean, truthfully, I hate to be this way. I think all 3, maybe Chris Bryant's gonna have a chance to be better, but the guys that everyone wanted to extend, I was also one of the people that wanted to extend. You know what? Maybe it was a good thing that they did not.
It looks like they made the right decision on all of them, to be perfectly honest.
Waited, and then they got Ian Happ for 3 years, which is I don't think any of those guys would have taken. Maybe Rizzo, but and then you got Nico for about 3 more years, and you got Dansby Swanson, who you got for 7 years because you had a bunch of money. It's just like I think that the Cubs, if you look at it the next few years, made the right moves.
Yep. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Let's hope so. But thank you, Maddie, for joining me for the end of the Bulls playoff post-game show. We'll probably be back on Friday. If it's just me, I'll probably be doing something because I think the post-game show or a half-time show is good luck for the Bulls.
Yeah, start something in between the third and the fourth quarter or something. Light a fire under their ass again.
Yeah, but we'll probably have a podcast out Friday morning, so be on the lookout for that. But again, thank you to Maddie at schools_01 for joining me. We will see you all later.
Peace.
Peace.